Hello everybody, this is Brandon with expeditiousfool.com, putting mindfulness in motion. Today I put out a post earlier. It's basically just titled, why is God a trigger word, right? Because this happens mostly in the communities I speak to, which is usually, universal spirituality, things like that. People that have went away from religion, right? And a lot of times I use the word God often. Why? Because it's one of the words. God, goddess, source, energy, universe. It doesn't matter. But anytime I use God, even if they don't mention it, like in my yoga classes, in my breathwork classes, I can see, I'm also a psychic, I can see a twinge that happens sometimes. Anytime. If I use source or universe, things like that, usually people are okay. If you use the word God, it triggers people. Definitely, all kinds of stuff you say on social media, you're going to trigger somebody. Especially if you have a deep understanding of life, because 90+% of the population does not. They live in illusion. And that's okay. It's okay to trigger people. I try to get that response every now and again. Why? Because that's how people can learn about themselves. That's how people can really explore. Maybe they'll dive into the shadow work. But that's not what I try and do when I say the word God. When I try and say the word God, I'm just using one of the words that refers to an omnipresent source that is in everything and is everything. I use that word because it's one of the words that we have created. It's not in any way do I believe that God actually cares to be called God or goddess or source or has any affiliation with any name we want to create. The reason being is all of those are words that we have created, meaning individual fragments of this God. We have created these words. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you call it Shiva. It doesn't matter if you call it Allah. It doesn't matter if you call it Jah, Yahweh. Doesn't matter if you call it Hecate or any Pavarti, Kale. I could go on and on. There's tons. When I was 14, I was studying and doing research to write a book called The Many Interpretations of a Superior Being. I eventually got away and didn't write that book. At 14, I got disheartened when I got to Scientology. So I understand this kind of feeling. And I know that it comes from a lot of religious trauma, right? But somebody who doesn't understand God or source or the universe on a true level, those are the types that will give you religious trauma. So the thing of the matter is why let those people who don't understand this concept take you further away from fully exploring your absolute true nature? Your absolute true nature, which is this source, which is this God, goddess. If you want to define it as many, define it as many, because each and every one of us have it in us. So therefore we are all God. And so is every other creature. And so is the plants. And so is the earth. And so is the stars. It is formless. It is shapeless. It is ever present. So defining it by just a name doesn't matter as long as you know what it's talking about. It's a way that we can explore it further. It's a way that you can explore you further. It's all the same, folks. It's all universal. This is what I implore you to do. This is what I encourage you to explore, is all the different variations of the name. They all carry equal valid power. because they all are referring to the same thing. It's only the egoic logical limitations you put on yourself. Which, oh wait, that's the whole point of studying yourself. So you can transcend all of that and you can come closer to God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, all of the sages from all different religions, all of the mystics. That's what I would, I guess, refer to myself, because I don't subscribe to one, because I have found the truth, and the truth is in all. So I encourage you to not be triggered by these names, to not be triggered by these limitations that even you put on yourself. That way you can find your true nature, your true authentic self. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Sat Nam. Namaste.